Retro Rad here, coming at you with a pickup video. Today is January 18th, 2015. In the comments down below, guys, let me know what game in your collection or games in your collection that you're looking to upgrade, whether get a better condition, get a collector's edition, box is just destroyed and you want to get a nicer looking box, or the cart's damaged. In the comments down below, let me know what you have like that. As always, if you're not thumbs up the video, that makes me sad. Hit the subscribe button. God bless you. I'm going to get right into this. About 8 to 12 days ago from today, I entered a game wheel. What a game wheel is, let's say there's a game, let's say Earthbound. Earthbound retails for like $140, $150 for the cart right now. So the guy tries to sell it on his own for $140, $150. No one buys it because it's expensive and people don't have the money. He goes on his Facebook group. He posts tons of pictures of the item. And then he'll say that there's 50 slots at $3 a piece. So then you'll send the money to the game wheel administrator for how many slots you want, whether you want 5 slots, 10 slots. You could just buy one at, like I said, $3 a piece. After the game wheel is over, the person then ships the item to the person who won within 2 days of the game wheel closing. And then after that happens, the person receives it, posts a picture showing that he received it, and then the Facebook group admin will take 12% of the money for his, time and trouble, which is, or just, putting back into the group because they give free stuff away all the time, and then sends the rest of the money to the person who actually sold the item. So it's very safe, very secure, and what they do is they do a dice system. They'll put everyone who bought all their slots in a giant spreadsheet, and then they will roll a computer die on the screen while it's live feed. You'll see the time clock at the top and then the live broadcast of them doing it. He'll roll the dice. They have to roll a 4 or greater, and as soon as they roll a 4 or greater, they will then, it goes up to 12, then they will put all the names in a spreadsheet. They'll hit the list randomizer the X amount of times that the roll rolled. So if it was 8, they're going to roll it 8 times, and on the 8th time, the person who's number 1 wins. I already won Demon's Crest earlier, and this one I won now. It's Super Noah's Ark 3D for the Super Nintendo. A very weird, strange looking cart. The game is kind of funky. It's sort of like a Doom and Wolfenstein ripoff, except for you have a slingshot and you put farm animals to sleep. So I traded that off already to my buddy Ken, but I figured I want to show you guys and tell you about the game wheel, my experience. Went game hunting that weekend, which was 9 days ago, to a couple stores, and what I was able to find was Metroid Classic Series Complete in Box. Box is a little beat up. I'm still debating on keeping it or not. Classic Series is another version of Greatest Hits, but Nintendo's Classic Series, for some reason, I'm drawn to it, and there wasn't that many. So I may keep this, may sell this, I don't know yet. Paid $35 for it. Now we're going to go into one thrift store find. I was able to get Animal Crossing for $4. It is complete. The spine is damaged, and believe it or not, I own about 3 memory cards for this game. I own a disc and manual already set aside for myself. I just need the non-player's choice that says includes memory card in order for me to put it in my collection. So that one's going to be already sold or traded shortly. Next one I got for $3 was Star Wars Knights of the Republic. I don't collect Xbox really. This is just an easy game I could trade, plus it's not complete. While I was at GameStop ordering my Zelda Collector's Edition Majora's Mask system, I noticed that there was Aqua Plaza made by Atlas. It's a fighting game. It was on Metal Jesus' Hidden Gems for the PlayStation 3. And for $18, Atlas game and fighting game, I'm in. I'm definitely in. Going to play it in a little bit. So now we're going to get into the fun meat and potatoes of my adventures this week. I call up my buddy Matt and I go, yo, which store are you working at today? Just for the simple fact that I do trades with him, and we're able to talk video game stuff. It's just I like dealing with Matt. I like dealing with a few other employees that they're easy to deal with, easy to talk with. Plus, they'll help you, if something needs to be helped. I already had $100 in trade credit, and I had a small little thing of PlayStation 1 system and games that I wanted to trade, and that I thought I was going to get like $30 for. Turns out I got like 45 for it, so now I'm like at 150 almost in trade credit. I have a bunch of games that I've picked out that I want to buy that are smaller end title games that are like $40, $30. Cheaper stuff. One of them was a Working Designs game, Iron Storm, for the Sega Saturn. Manual was completely crushed and water damaged. And they still wanted full retail for it, which was $40. So I was kind of hemming and hawing on buying that one. But then he goes, "Hey Chris, I got a question for you. Am I priced wrong on this game?" And it's Bomberman Second Attack for the 64. They have it priced at $280. And I said to him, let me take a look at it. So he pulls it out of the case, and I really wasn't that interested in the game just for the simple fact that it was $280. And I haven't played Bomberman Second Attack. I know I like all the other Bombermans, but I haven't played the Second Attack, and I know it's extremely rare and valuable. Pulls it out, and it's the box, the manual, the cart. There's no insert, and there's no plastic little baggie for the thing. So I immediately go over to his junk N64 games. I pull a tray out for the N64, and I pull a bag for the game. So now the game will look a little bit more presentable, being that the box is crushed. I mean, it is crushed beyond belief. And he goes, "What are you thinking on this one?" I said, "Realistically, I think you're just a little too high on the game. However, this is one of the rarest games, and I know a mint copy just recently sold for $750, and 2 complete copies, which were actual bids, went for $350 to $400. So I don't think you took enough consideration for the box." And he goes, "Yeah, I've been really want this one. I want this game to go away because high-end games sell very slowly at the stores. Because who's going to spend that type of money?" Naturally, I already have almost $60 in credit, so I'm thinking in the back of my head, I only have to come up with $120, which I could easily sell a couple games out of my collection to get that $120 really quick. He goes, "Fine, $220, take it." And I was like, I wasn't talking about me buying it, but $220, I'm in. So here it is. Oh, and he also threw these in for $1 a piece. 2 manuals, easy trades. Realistically speaking, I could sell this for $15 if I wanted. Here goes the box. As you can see, I've already had, even in this condition with sending the pictures, but look at the cart. The cart is mint. And like I said, I stole an N64 bag out of another N64 game, and I stole the tray out. I've already had offers. People offer me almost $400 for this game. I was seriously considering trading it to my good buddy Casey the Game Nerd. He always hooks me up in trade, so I figured I would return the favor and give him a solid deal on a trade. But put the game to the ultimate test. My goal is putting games in my collection that I enjoy playing. Put the game in the N64. It was around 20 degrees in my basement. I had 2 blankets wrapped around me. I was just literally freezing. But the game is phenomenal. I played it, like I said, for about 2-3 hours, so one night. And I'm going to play it again in a little bit. I love the game. It's actually one of my favorite N64 games I've ever played. So, game's not leaving my collection. Okay, now it's Sunday of that week. And so you're talking 6-7 days ago. And my buddy posts on his Facebook page and a couple other ones that he was selling a few games. And if you guys remember the collection video you just watched, me buying all those games, I had a ton of extra money in my PayPal just for the simple fact of selling all that stuff, getting all my money back that I spent, and I had all this extra money. Same thing where all the credit went for, the Bomberman. So I've been looking for this game, and he had a phenomenal price on it already. And then I asked him how much if he would do any different for friends and family, and he said absolutely no problem, and he took additional money off. And when I tell you this is the cleanest, mintest copy of this game I've ever seen in my life, it is. It's Castlevania Dracula X. The reason why there's a glare is because the factory sealed shrink wrap is still on it, with the exception of the part where the game was taken out. I mean, you can see the box is flawless. The cart is mint. Everything is inside. This is absolutely perfect. and it was purchased brand new at Sears for $50. So Matty J, thank you for the hookup and this phenomenal deal. He sold to me for well under retail on this one. Okay, so now we're getting into the final story. This story is kind of crazy on how it worked out, and I'm glad it worked out how it did. So the week that I went to buy the Metroid from the one guy, it was like 10 degrees outside, and inside his booth area there wasn't any heat, so you literally saw your breath. And I had my wife with me, and she's 8 months pregnant, and I was like, I really can't spend any time out in the cold, so I grabbed Metroid and just went out. However, while I was at the other store that has heat, there was a bunch of stuff I wanted. I just, I didn't realize that the prices were that good. So I go back to the store with every intentions on buying something, selling something out of my collection, and being everything's perfect. Okay, so here's what happened. I walk into the one store, and the store owner will negotiate with you on price if you buy a certain amount of stuff, or if the price is, over $100. As soon as I walk in, I see the wife and the mother. So then I know that there's no negotiations going to happen, because I've never been able to negotiate with the mother, and I've never been able to negotiate with the wife. Heard the wife negotiate with somebody else. She only took $5 off a game, but still, as soon as I saw that that was possible, I was like, I'm going to be able to do this. So I asked to see it, and here's what I asked to see. And also, the wife has no love for video games, so all she sees is a price. She doesn't see that this is rare and expensive, and that she's never going to come across one of these again. Whereas the store owner would have been like, yeah, he already told me he couldn't do anything off of this last week. And that is the Zelda DS Lite big box set. And if you see, the top is actually in excellent condition for this. If you notice, there's no way to open this system up, and inside the system is the game, which is complete, and then inside that is what you most commonly see is this box. Inside here, I'm not going to open it, is every piece of paperwork, the little sleeve, everything is in there in flawless condition. It is beautiful. Now, they had this price at $125, and $125 for this in this condition is about $100 under retail. I learned that because when I went home, I was daydreaming about that, because mine looks like this, which I bought in one of my very earlier pickup videos back in the year. I mean, I still got the box, I still got the game, I still got everything. I just don't have the little baggies that it came with. The screen, the system's a little dinged up because it was gold. So I still have everything in it. But what the issue was when these came out is the only way to open it is to take this entire glue strip, which is glued down. And what happened is glue must have got stuck on the top and it just ripped off. So I always see them with tops like this, and I never see them in that condition. So I went home and I saw what mine would sell for. Mine would sell for between $125 and $175 on eBay in my condition. And this one, like I said, is going for $250 to $300 in this condition. So my thinking is I can easily just pay the $125, sell mine, and get a brand new upgrade for nothing. My brain started moving a little bit more because the mom I heard would negotiate. So I'm going to try something. They had Shining Force for the Sega Genesis, complete. They wanted $30 for this. Thunder Force 2, which I traded to Gamer Emporium, which I'm slowly getting back almost everything I traded you. And that's complete. They wanted $20 for it, which is a couple dollars on the higher side. And then Castlevania Bloodlines with a damaged box. There's like a little bit of tape here. But the important thing is, I only need the cart. I only need the cart, and the cart was in excellent condition. So I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can't work my magic. So then they wanted $45 for this. So then if you add it all up, $125, $45, $30, and $20. So that's $195, $200, $240. So it's $240 total. So I asked her what the best she can do. And she goes, well, I really don't usually negotiate. I said, well, I usually deal with your husband, which I didn't lie. I do deal with her husband. And he usually gives me deals. So she goes, I'll give you the cheapest game free, which is $20. So then you're down to $220. I'm thinking to myself, $220 is nowhere near where I need to be for this stuff because I'm trying to get stuff free. So then I said, so you wouldn't take $160. Keep in mind she never added the stuff up. I knew the number in my head where it was, and she never added it up. I'm sorry, 220 was where it would have been, so I had to owe 200, not 240. So I knew 200 was where the total would have been in my head. So I said, you wouldn't take 160. And she goes, no, I can't take. And then she goes, well, how much would that be? And as soon as she said, how much would that be, I knew she wasn't looking at any of the money and not adding anything up. I said, well, that will be roughly, and I'm not going to help her do math, so I'm going to say it looks like about $40 off. When realistically, remember, 125, 45, 20, and 30. So you're talking 175, you're talking 220, and she was at 200 taking the $20 game off. So she was at 200. I was at taking 60 off. I go, roughly it was probably around taking like 40 off. And she goes, oh no, I can't take $40 off. She goes, I'll tell you what, why don't we go 180? And I told her, how about 170? She goes, and we met in the middle to 175. She goes, so that's taking $35 off. I go, yeah, it's taking $35 off. Meanwhile, I kept all the games in my hand. At this point, as soon as she agreed to it, I kept all the games in my hand, and I started peeling off the stickers of the prices, just in case she decided to do the math at the end. So I got it all for $175. This is already sold. I already got almost all my money back for it. So I only had a few dollars hanging around. I messaged my buddy Ken, who needs the box and manual for this. So then all this stuff winds up being free. The extra stuff. So I was able to get the upgrade, get the card I needed, and get these two games. It was a lot of work and knowing a lot of people, but it worked out. So then I went to my other guy. And now it's not freezing cold, and my wife is staying inside and she's doing the inside shopping. So while I'm looking around, I decided that I was going to take my time and do some looking. Every week I ask them the price of this game here. It's Ninja Gaiden 2. The box is in fairly good condition. The manual is destroyed, but I have a person who's willing to give me one of those manuals. He tells me he wants $30 for this. And then I noticed this one, which was a fun game that I played back in the heyday. It's Big Nose Man, the Caveman. Nice gold cart for those of you who've never seen it, which I'm pretty sure everyone who watches my channel has seen it. It's one of these fancy carts with a little switch in the back. Box is somewhat beat up, but, for a game that I really don't see that often, it's in good enough condition. He wanted $30 for this one and $30 for this one. So I put them both back on the shelf, and he goes, I'm going to give you a deal. I always give you a deal. He goes, give me $45 for both of them. I said, you know what? I'm going to make a stack, and we'll go from there. Meanwhile, I already know $45 for both of these. I'm pretty sure I'm going to buy them. Now I just need to find something that he has that I could sell to make my money back to pay for these. Looking through his Super Nintendo games, I see this little gem. The Twisted Tales of Spike McFang. I ask him how much. He goes $15. I know this cart goes for around the $40, $45 range. So I know I'm almost there paying that off. So then I noticed this one, and I asked him every single week about these games and all of his sealed stuff, and he always gives me some stupid high prices. Shockwave. It's factory sealed, hang tab, it's got the correct lines and everything. It's completely sealed. And he said that he wanted $100 for it. I immediately went to go put it back, and as soon as I went to put it back, he goes, come on, I'm going to give you a deal. Just keep shopping. And I know you guys are saying that this isn't a true factory seal, but actually the way this company sealed their games, they didn't do a horizontal this way. This is how the game was sealed. So realistically speaking, you're at $160 for this. So I did some more shopping, some more talking with him, and then it turned out that there was nothing else that I wanted, but I knew that if I got Shockwave cheap enough, I had my money back and I was going to easily get these two games for free. He goes, give me $100 for everything. My eyes immediately lit up because I was supposed to pay $160. And then I gave him the $100, and then I went home. Spike McFang sold for $43, quick, fast, and in a hurry. And Shockwave, I'm going to slowly sell this one. I'm the cheapest one on eBay. I have no interest in sealed games. I was solely just looking to get those games for free. So after all said and done, I have the cheapest one on eBay at 150. So if someone says, "Will you take 100 for it?" I'll take 100 for it. Let it fly, and then I make all my money back. I get to keep the stuff that I got, and it was a very long week, guys. Thanks for listening to this long rant of my adventures, but I thought this was one of the better weeks that I've had, and my contacts really paid out for me. Thanks again.